I would like to welcome everybody to this demonstration. What's the difference between R. Kelly and P. Diddy's case? Drop a comment. Salute to the chat. Salute to all my moderators. Salute to the replay gang. I want everybody to join in on this demonstration. So make sure everybody that's catching this from the replay gang, make sure y'all drop a comment. I'm going to take a 45-second break. Then I'll come back and we're going to get into this demonstration.
I'd like to place an order. Yeah. Hey, let me get a chicken box and a half a half. All right, good looking out. I'd like to place an order. Yeah. Hey, let me get a chicken box and a half a half. All right, good looking out. A chicken box, a half and half when I'm switching lanes. Switching lane. A chicken box, a half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lane. A chicken box, a half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lane. A chicken box, a half and half when I'm switching lanes. When I'm switching lane. A chicken box, a half and half when I'm switching lanes. Switching lane. A chicken box, a half and half when I'm switching lanes.
But before we get started with this demonstration, let me read my copyright. Younger females like older men. So my smoothie is going to consist of
when I'm switching lane. A chicken box, a half and half when I'm switching lanes. I'm switching lane. A chicken box, a half and half when I'm switching lanes.
All right. Now, if you haven't heard, I'm sure you've heard by now. P. Diddy has been found not guilty in his federal racketeering case. Now, R. Kelly had the same racketeering case 7 years ago. R. Kelly was found guilty on his racketeering case. Now, riddle me this. What's the difference? Well, as of right now, one difference is, of course, R. Kelly was found guilty of his racketeering case. However, P. Diddy was found not guilty. Why do y'all think that happened? On the replay gang, let me know. Why do y'all think R. Kelly was found guilty, but P. Diddy was found not guilty? Those in the chat, how do y'all feel? Why do y'all think R. Kelly was found guilty and P. Diddy was found not guilty of the same charges? All right. My opinion, of course, different attorneys. And we're going to go to Choke No Joke because in my perspective, Choke No Joke, he really hits the nail in the head. Tyson says R. Kelly was messing with minors. How many of y'all would say what Tyson says because R. Kelly was messing with minors? I'm going to say, Tyson, that's not true. R. Kelly case didn't have anything to do with minors. See, what we have to focus on, I want everybody to focus on the one thing, all right? We have to focus on the evidence. The evidence. Donna says Diddy's pockets were deeper for lawyers. Marie says Shank, P. Diddy had the boss lawyer. Queen B says because Diddy has footage on people and Kelly doesn't. In my opinion, all of y'all opinions were good opinions. But back to Tyson's opinion, R. Kelly case didn't have anything to do with minors. you know. But let's go to my man Choke No Joke, who's on Beehive ATL podcast. Shout out to my man Beehive ATL. I think this was a very, very well interview. Tyson says Chicago conviction in 2022, a Chicago jury convicted Kelly of 3 counts of producing child sexual abuse images and 3 counts of enticing minors to engage in sexual activity. All right, let's tap into Choke No Joke. Once again, shout out to my man Beehive from Beehive TV. Let's go.
All right, the governor of hip hop is back, baby.
Now, Choke, okay, man, you know I had to get you in here. The Diddy case the trial has come to an end. Now we're at sentencing. Okay, he was found guilty on 2 Mann Act charges. However, the Ricos and the sex trafficking he was acquitted of. Right now, we're waiting on October 3rd for him to be sentenced, but his bond was denied after the verdict yesterday. What has been your reaction to the whole trial and where we're at with it right now, Choke?
Well, as predicted, you know, last time I was here, when me and Turk was going back and forth, my prediction was the exact outcome that we got. He was going to beat the Rico, but they was going to find him guilty on, and he was going to beat the trafficking on Cassie. He was going to beat the trafficking on Jane Doe, and that they would get him on paying the sex workers crossing state lines. And what was the result of that? Exactly what I said. You know, so y'all could call me Choke Nostradamus now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, but
En Spectrum Noticias nos enfocamos en nuestras comunidades y ofrecemos una cobertura equilibrada de las historias.
Outside of that, I think that it was a win for Diddy, even though it wasn't a clean sweep. But like, come on, bro. A Rico and one person sitting in the courtroom.
A Rico with one person sitting in the courtroom. That's what myself and everybody else was saying. All right, you want us to believe that this man was running a continuously criminal enterprise. Okay, where's the evidence, right? They presented the evidence. All right, we got this evidence. Okay, criminal racketeering enterprise. Remember what it was put on the books for, right? So now with the evidence, you're looking around and you're waiting for some more defendants. You're waiting for his co-conspirators to be brought out from the bullpen, you know, or either to walk in through the court doors. They might be out on bail, but you know, you're looking around for the co-conspirators. There was no co-conspirators, right? Remember, let's stick with the evidence and let's stick with the law. Let's not go by how the law stretches the law. All right, let's stick by what the law is. I have a quick announcement and then we'll move forward. I have a goal of 15 super stickers and super chats for this demonstration. If you're on the replay gang and if you would like to support the channel and help me reach my goal by purchasing a super sticker or a super chat, just click on the $ symbol that you see in the comment section. For everybody that's watching from the chat, if you would like to help me reach my 15 super stickers or super chats goal, just click on the $ symbol and it will allow you to purchase a super sticker or a super chat. A benefit, I believe one of the main benefits of getting a super chat, you know how you have a comment for me to read You know how you have a question for me to answer and I don't get to? Well, if you purchase a super chat, that guarantees that I will read your comment or answer your question. Appreciate that. Let's get back to my man, Choke No Joke. He said what we all said. Where is the other co-conspirators? Who conspired with P. Diddy? That's what we want to know.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't fair. And like I said before, him and R. Kelly case is the same case. R. Kelly had Azriel and Joycelyn Savage. Diddy had Cassie and Jane Doe.
R. Kelly had 2 females. P. Diddy had 2 females. Right?
Yeah.
Can we say her name now? That is over?
Well, I mean, do we know who the Jane Doe really is? I mean, we know who we suspect it to be, but has the court released who it is?
I don't think they would, because, you know, she's supposed to be Jane Doe, but, you know, the rapper that hated the most on Diddy or during this whole thing, Baby Mother.
Allegedly.
It ain't allegedly. That nigga was hating on Diddy.
Oh, damn. Okay, so what did you think about the outcome, though? When you saw the outcome as came out as you predicted, what do you think this means for Diddy? And then also when they denied the bond, how did you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I predicted what was going to happen, but like I said, Diddy had the same case as R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Only difference between R. Kelly and Diddy is Diddy had the world watching.
How many of y'all agree with Choke? Choke says the only difference was that Diddy had the whole world watching. And he drop a 1 if you agree with Choke. Drop a 2 if you disagree. Now, he's going to explain what he mean by that. But I felt and I still feel like Choke hit it on the nose. Listen to what he said. I'll backtrack. He said the difference was that Diddy had the whole world watching. Watch how he break it down, y'all. Watch how he break it down.
I predicted what was going to happen, but like I said, Diddy had the same case as R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Only difference between R. Kelly and Diddy is Diddy had the world watching. Diddy had the support from the media.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, nobody cared because they thought it was about pedophilia, and it wasn't.
Stop right there. Stop right there. What'd he say? Nobody cared. Nobody cared in the R. Kelly case. He ain't have the media. He had a few content creators. Shout out to Dana J, Madonna, and the rest of those content creators that's in that R. Kelly sector that was advocating for R. Kelly, but he didn't have the media like P. Diddy had, right? Also, I got to backtrack to catch what he said because I forgot. He also said something else that was interesting.
This is R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Only difference between R. Kelly and Diddy is Diddy had the world watching. Diddy had the support from the media.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, nobody cared because they thought it was about pedophilia, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
Stop right there. And they thought that it was about pedophilia, but it wasn't. And that's what I stated. Appreciate that super sticker, Tammy. Appreciate that super sticker. We are 14 super stickers and super chats away from me reaching my goal. Once again, we thought that it was about pedophilia. See, they famous for making you think one way. Same way with the R. Kelly case. They had you thinking that it was about domestic violence. They had you thinking it was about the freak-offs. Well, if it was about domestic violence, why didn't the state press charges? Why didn't the state of California press charges against P. Diddy? Some of y'all might say, statute of limitations ran out, Shank. Right? Keep that in mind now. Also, if that was the case, why did Cassie settle out of court for the $30 million? I've always said this in all of my demonstrations. When the so-called victims accept money, when they got an opportunity to have the perpetrator or perpetrators convicted and sent to prison, why do they take the money over the prison time? Now, once again, you got Cassie, 30 million, right? So you got the racketeering. What I say in the early stage of the prosecution pleading their case, I said, if this is all that the feds got, I said, P. Diddy is going to walk. Some of y'all was saying, Shank, they holding on to the bombshell evidence. Shank, they gonna wait. Shank, they got more on P. Diddy. And what did I say? I said, if they had some strong evidence, they would have came out the gate throwing haymakers. They would have came out the gate with a strong case. They would have held on to their big joker. For those that know how to play spades, they would have held on to that big joker. But for all my spades players, when you playing spades and you trump tight, and the last time I checked, the reputation of the feds is being trump tight. When the feds get you, they got you. Everybody knowing spades, you gonna run them spades. You coming out the gate swinging. The government never came out the gate swinging. Not only didn't the government come out the gate swinging, even down to their last swing, that last swing from the government was weak.
It was the same thing, sex trafficking your girlfriends.
Yeah.
How do you sex traffic your girlfriend? How do you sex traffic your wife? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And consensual relationships. And as you can see, these women were not coerced, according to the jury, right?
Yeah.
So y'all can say however y'all want to feel. Just like y'all feel like OJ still did it. He was found not guilty. Diddy did not coerce these women. So y'all need to get out y'all feelings, because the jury said it. The prosecution, they gave all the evidence. You know what I'm saying? The judge, I feel, was very fair in this case. So for all y'all that can't let it go, let it go. Not guilty.
Did y'all hear what Choke said? Tammy says, Shank, in my opinion, I believe that what they was using Diddy as bait to get his bosses for real, for real. And that's a good point. But as Choke says, how do you sex traffic your girlfriend? They wasn't forced. They wasn't coerced into it. They wasn't. I've said it thousands and thousands of times. What Cassie's mission was all about. You don't get involved with P. Diddy because you see P. Diddy as this righteous, God-fearing man that would make a good husband. Possibility down the line, an excellent father. That's not why you get involved with P. Diddy. You get involved with P. Diddy because you need P. Diddy to get your career to the next level. Nothing more, nothing less. Let's stop playing around with this. And let's call a spade a spade. Let's put everything in its proper perspective. You don't get with R. Kelly because you want R. Kelly to be a righteous, God-fearing man to be your husband. That's not why you get with them. I'll say it again. If they had a chance to choose Shank Rock over R. Kelly, they gonna choose R. Kelly. It don't got nothing to do with my character. It don't got nothing to do with who's more attractive. None of that counts when it comes to women on the left side. Now, maybe those women on the right side would choose Shank Rock. I'm sure a lot of women on the right side would choose Shank Rock because the women on the right side would look at my character and judge it by my character and judge him by his character. But them women on the left side, they ain't choosing Shank Rock. I'm telling y'all that now. I've been in a situation before. I've been in a situation where females on the left side chose me because I could do more for them than their boyfriend, their baby father, or whatever joker that they dealing with. I'm going with Shank Rock. I want Shank Rock. Shank Rock can get me to that next level. I got knocked for some females before, whereas though females chose other men over me because I couldn't enhance what they had going on. My man, he could get them further than I could get them. You don't even got to be in the game to understand the game. That's just how it goes. Appreciate that super sticker, caller. So that's why they went to R. Kelly. I said it and I say it again. Sparkle left Earl because Earl couldn't do for her career what R. Kelly could do.
You know what I'm saying? Now, with R. Kelly, if he had all the media and all that attention, and he still had some bread to hide the defense that Diddy had, he would have beat it too.
If R. Kelly had the same opportunity that P. Diddy had, R. Kelly would have walked. R. Kelly just didn't have what Diddy had. Nobody cared about R. Kelly. You know? Like I said, except for Dana J, Prima Donna, and the rest of those content creators in that R. Kelly sector that was advocating for R. Kelly. R. Kelly didn't get the attention that P. Diddy got. Everybody automatically assumed R. Kelly's case is pedophilia, pedos, woo-woo-woo-woo, without really investigating it. But when you really investigate R. Kelly's case, you see, and I'm going to read some more of that motion of a new trial, because I didn't read everything coming out of that motion of a new trial from R. Kelly. I see you, Suntan. Even if he gets out in time served and get probation, business life will never be the same. Ain't nobody getting back into bed, not literally. Like that no more. He too gone, Shank. He about to get cut loose anyway. And that's true. But this is why I say that R. Kelly beat the feds. Because R. Kelly was looking at life. Salute, Shantae. He was looking at life. If R. Kelly would have been found guilty of the racketeering, the feds would have gave R. Kelly life. And if they didn't give him life, they'd have gave him 30 years or 40 years, whatever fall under his guidelines, the feds would have gave him the max. So for R. Kelly, it's a big win. He beat the feds. Now he's looking at 10 years. If they run the sentences haywire, he's looking at 20, 30. But I'll take numbers over letters any day when it comes to a sentence. Give me 45 years before you give me life. Because at least with 45 years, at least with whatever numbers they give me, I got a release date. If you get hit with them letters, you don't have no release date with the feds. So, but as Choke said, R. Kelly, the difference was that R. Kelly didn't have the media attention that P. Diddy had. R. Kelly didn't have the finances. R. Kelly didn't have the attorney that P. Diddy had. Nobody cared about R. Kelly. Only a few of those content creators was advocating for R. Kelly. Everybody pretty much threw R. Kelly to the wolves. They was like, the hell with him. You know, he was messing with them young girls. But then when it came out, he wasn't messing with the young girls. Everybody knew, everybody swore up and down. He married Aaliyah when Aaliyah was 15. We already proved that Aaliyah wasn't 15. And even though on the marriage license, let me see if this is the marriage license. No, even though on the marriage license, it got her age at 18, but her age was really, I believe, 16. But my man Demetrius, R. Kelly's ex-tour manager, he's the one that said he's the one that provided the fake ID for them to even get the marriage certificate. So why didn't Demetrius get locked up? See? Why is R. Kelly the only one locked up if it's a Rico?
You know what I'm saying? But the fact that nobody...
Wix gives you the freedom to tell your story. With a perfect...
paid attention to the R. Kelly case, they was able to railroad him. They didn't allow him to subpoena the parents. They did him real dirty.
Because nobody was paying attention to R. Kelly's case, they railroaded him. They didn't allow him to subpoena the parents. That's, to me, that would have been a major plus in R. Kelly's defense if them parents would have been subpoenaed. Once again, you got to know the R. Kelly case. You can't just go off of what you assume. You just can't go off of feelings. You can't just go off of the first thing that you hear in the R. Kelly case. Investigate it. And that's what Juror 25 done in the P. Diddy case. Now y'all can see the differences. Y'all can see the differences. R. Kelly's jurors, they only was going by what was presented to them. They was only going by all the hype that was going on around the case. Difference in P. Diddy case. See, and that's what I said. Juror 25 was like, hold up. And they try to say, oh, he had an issue with the instructions. I see you, OG Patrice. I see y'all in the chat. Diddy case was more of a Rico case than R. Kelly to me. I followed the R. Kelly case. Lil Mac feels as though P. Diddy case was more of a Rico than Diddy. Drop a 5 if y'all agree with Lil Mac. But they definitely railroaded R. Kelly. And I advise everybody that comes for me by saying that, do your own homework. Do your own homework in the R. Kelly case. Don't come back unless you can read to me, unless you can give me something out of that motion for a new trial. See, if you don't go to that motion of a new trial, if you don't go to the motion of disqualification, if you don't go to the paperwork in that R. Kelly case, then let me know you really don't know much about the R. Kelly case. You only going off of hearsay. You're only going off of how you feel. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Read to me something from that motion of a new trial from the R. Kelly case. Read from me the motion of disqualification in that R. Kelly case. But Shank, you didn't see Rico with Diddy. I didn't see Rico with Diddy or R. Kelly. I didn't. Y'all know that that's a slap in the face to all of the Mafia crime families, from the Colombian Mafia, the Mexican Mafia, the Italian Mafia, the street gangs, the GDs, the Vice Lords, Crips Bloods, Latin Kings. Y'all do know that that's a slap in all of their faces, because they're the ones that's moving in racketeering status. That's how they move. And here they bring the charge against a player by the name of Robert Kelly, also a music executive that liked freak-offs by the name of Sean Combs. And here it is, y'all go after those street gangs and y'all go after them for that charge. They looking like that's a slap in the face. All the violence that those organizations perpetrated, all of the crimes that they committed, I mean, that's their MO. And y'all charge Robert Kelly and Sean Combs that ain't nowhere near put in any kind of the work that those organizations put in. Some of those organizations don't even get charged with racketeering. Y'all gotta make it make sense. Nah, if you have money and calling the shots, it doesn't have to be. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, Talonda. It's everybody that don't want to look at it as what it was put on the books for. Focus on what it was put on the books for. Don't focus on nothing else. It was put on the books. Racketeering was put on the books to bring down the mafia. Some cases, white collar crimes. Some cases is white collar crimes, right? But once again, the thing that separates Robert Kelly and Sean Combs, this is the difference as far as why it wasn't racketeering as far as what it was put on the books for. Robert Kelly and Sean Combs did not receive any finances. They didn't receive any money. There was no money at all. I'll say it again. It's like a female got a no good for nothing husband, but he's a good father to the kids. But because he cheated on her, because she's in her feelings, she won't allow the kids to spend time with their daddy. She won't allow the daddy around the kids. And she stretches the law and pushes the narrative. Oh, he ain't ish. He don't. Then she start going as far as spreading lies about the man. Same thing with the feds. Here come the lies. So now you got this man. He cheated. Robert and Sean, they was, into these freak-offs and stuff like that. That's it. So now the kids suffer because mama is all in her feelings. Tony says the difference was the age. They didn't use their business to fund these things. Everything that you all are saying, it comes back to the money. When the feds investigate you, they following the money trail. Where anybody that caught a Fed case when it was dealing with drugs, whereas anybody that caught a racketeering case, the feds follow the money. They tracing the money. And if you ever caught a Fed case, or if you know anything about the federal government, any and everybody that you came in contact with, the feds is going to pay them a visit because the feds want to know about that dough. That's why you can't get a car. You can't spend over $10,000 when you purchasing anything. Go to a dealership, a car dealership, and spend $12,000 cash. Feds coming to pay you a visit. Money. Feds ain't interested in nothing else. They are only concerned about that money. Where's this money coming from? Oh, because you are cheating the IRS. That's another thing that's tagged in there. Uncle Sam want his money. Robert didn't make no money. Sean didn't make no money. They didn't. I see you, Shantae. All Jane Doe and R. Kelly in New York was of age. Two lied about their age. And Lil Mac is a heavyweight. Lil Mac, come up. Because maybe y'all hear it from somebody else other than Shank Rock. Lil Mac, if you got time, slide up on the panel with me. If you got time. And anybody else from that R. Kelly sector, somebody slide up and talk. Salute Uda on the go. Salute. Marie says, laughing out loud, Shank. It took Cassie and the stylist to put a note to the judge to keep P. Diddy in jail. Otherwise, P. Diddy would be out of jail. Now, here she come crying. Cassie, I'm in fear of my life. Oh, ish. Come on, y'all. If y'all can't see the play that the government and Cassie ran on P. Diddy, I don't know what else to tell y'all. Uda says Cassie wasn't innocent. She wasn't. She was far from innocent. She got with P. Diddy for one purpose and one purpose only. She didn't get with P. Diddy because she was in love with P. Diddy. She didn't get with P. Diddy because she wanted to marry P. Diddy. But she didn't fear for her life while she was getting that money from her. Facts. J-Rock says R. Kelly's jewelry was sequestered, but Diddy's was not. These are heavyweights in the case. Lil Mac and J-Rock. They heavyweights. They could tell you any and everything about the R. Kelly case. Lil Mac says Diddy got railroad. Lil Mac says, give me 5 minutes. Once again, help Shank Rock reach his goal. I have a goal of 15 super stickers and super chats. If you would like to help me reach my goal, please click on the $ symbol. Even those that are on the replay gang, if you would like to help me reach my goal, just click on the $ symbol. Thank you, Alicia. Marie says, I agree with Uda and go. Salute, big baby. One of the people was supposed to testify, said no, because Diddy reached out to her after the feds contacted her. Let R. Kelly come home. He done did some years. They letting everyone else come home. Exactly. That Lifetime show painted a pic of R. Kelly as well, messed him up. Exactly. That's a good point about jewelry being sequestered. And see, here's my thing. Why Shanquella Robinson, right? Lexington says, what it do? Salute, Lexington. Why is it that the FBI went after Robert and Sean, right? But Shanquella Robinson was attacked. Shanquella Robinson lost her life. Shanquella Robinson is a real victim. You all know that. You all that know the Shanquella Robinson case, you all know Shanquella was a victim. Why the FBI ain't prosecuting Cabo 6? And it ain't got nothing to do with Shank because it happened in Mexico. It ain't got nothing to do with that. Out of the FBI owns mouth, they're not prosecuting Cabo 6 because Cabo 6 told them that Shanquella agreed to the fight. If y'all can't see the FBI for what the FBI is, I don't know what else to tell y'all. I just don't. Because I could go on and on and on. But if y'all can't see that, damn, why did they go after P. Diddy and R. Kelly, but didn't prosecute the Cabo 6 that's responsible for Shanquella Robinson's life? We saw the videotape. They lied. They pushed the narrative Shanquella died of alcohol poisoning. So you want me to believe you can't prosecute Cabo 6 for the death of Shanquella Robinson, but you could prosecute P. Diddy for some freak-offs. You could prosecute R. Kelly because he had a stable of women. He had a team of women. Right? Yeah, Shank, he had all them women. And the women even testified. They even testified. They ain't had no problem with it. He was taking care of us. We ain't had no problem with it. We was all in relationships with him. We ain't had no problem with it. All except one, Sparkle. Come on, y'all. Delana says, scared. Salute, big baby. Facts, Marie. I bet those jurors work for the feds. A lot of the feds and a lot of the police officers don't really care to do their job right at all. That's just my personal opinion. And you're right, April. And April is in the same situation with her husband that R. Kelly was in and P. Diddy is in. A woman lied on April's husband, and the state of Oklahoma convicted her husband off of a lie. So y'all can't tell me that every female that claims to be a victim is a victim. Y'all can't tell me that every time something happens between a man and a woman, that the woman is always right and the man is wrong. Ask April. And I got news for you all. April husband, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but April's husband is Caucasian. So it don't just stops with black men being railroaded by the system because of a woman. All men go through that. All of us as men go through being railroaded by the system, especially when it comes to a woman. Now, this woman has came forward and lied and said that April's husband inappropriate touched her. But then this same woman turns around and has April and April's husband, Brad, child that looks just like the husband, Brad. She got that child thinking that she don't have a daddy. She got that child believing that her mom is her and not April. To this day, that same child, Elizabeth, is living with this woman that claims Elizabeth's dad inappropriate touched her. And this is why when real victims are in these situations, this is why real victims are scared to come forward. Because these women that's on the left side, they give women a bad name. And I'm telling y'all, and y'all know I advocate and I go hard for women. Yes, I do. But women on the left side of things, I will not advocate for women on the left side. I will not turn a blind eye to women on the left side playing victim and tearing down any man. Come on in, Lord Mac. Boy, you see I'm up here up against the ropes. I'm tired. Little Mac knows the R. Kelly case from front to back. Slide in, good brother.
Hey, what's up, Shank, man? How can you everybody hear me good? Make sure my
yes, sir.
You sound good. Right?
You sound good, brother.
Okay. Yeah, the situation with R. Kelly in this case in New York, it definitely was a racketeering because the girlfriend, all the women that was in his case was his former girlfriends for the most part. And then when they say Jane, when Choke said they didn't let the parents in, that's true. R. Kelly didn't get his discovery for that case in New York till like 2 weeks later, 2 weeks before the trial. And so that right there set him back right there. Then he was having a problem with his attorney, so and the judge went on allowed the case to go on. So he didn't have the right proper defense to defend that case. And then when they was I think the lawyer was asking, can they bring the parents in to testify? She was like, no. So any defense that he had to try to put up with it, she wouldn't allow him to use it. And basically, Demetrius Smith, they got him on the Rico based on what Demetrius Smith testimony about how he paid for the marriage, the bribery for the marriage of Aaliyah. And they got him with another Jane Doe by the name of Faith Rogers. Right. That's how he got this whole case in New York, because it was a law that he couldn't been charged with only in New York, so they had to get Faith involved to charge for that charge to make it to a Rico, and then he also needed the young lady Azrael, who we go by the name of Jane Doe number 5. And she was his girlfriend. That's who parents should have been testified, because after the trial, once Jennifer Bonjean got on the case, she found out that the parent of Jane Doe number 5, Azrael Clara, was facilitating all this. She was having her daughter, taking her daughter across state lines and buying tickets and doing all that. It wasn't R. Kelly, so like it was text message proving that the parents was okay with the relationship, and that she was like R. Kelly thinking he was basically talking to an 18-year-old adult, but the whole time she was lying about the age. But some supporters, some people say that they believe she was 18 the whole time. But either way it goes, that when I say Diddy's Rico was more of a Rico than R. Kelly wasn't threatening nobody. He wasn't blowing no cars up. He wasn't bribing nobody. And Demetrius Smith said out his own mouth, R. Kelly didn't have nothing to do with this. I went and did that. So if he basically admits his own individual crime, therefore R. Kelly didn't say, hey, go do this on my behalf. He went and did on his own. R. Kelly didn't say, go get no marriage certificate for me or no ID for Aaliyah so I can marry her. But Demetrius Smith testified then in court. And I don't know why the judge didn't look at that, but come to find out, I don't know how you feel about saying other bloggers' names, but Okay. It was another blogger by the name Spin Fire that's in the R. Kelly sector. She discovered that the judge that was over his case, Judge Ann Dillon, was a part of the Me Too movement. So that also hindered his case. So everything she threw in, he got she went loud, like she didn't allow the parents to come in. She allowed this man had like 15 uncharged acts himself off there, and then like of course on the jury, and then after the case was over with and it was time for the jury to deliberate, she changed the instructions of the jury in a way that they had to convict him. See, people don't know what really going on. Everybody going on this motion that R. Kelly like these underage girls and all that. That you gotta get away from that and just look at the case. This wasn't that, because all those women in that New York case was of age, besides Jerron and Azrael, but those two women lied about the age. So how can you fault a man for a man asking these women are they age, because his runners, them a guy named Anthony Navarro testified, said that R. Kelly wouldn't allow nobody in his house, in his home, or around his area unless he checked IDs. Like after that 2008 trial, they said he was very cautious of who he let around him, what type of women was. They said he always checked the IDs. And then this make sense to me. If everybody's saying R. Kelly like minors, when he found out that the girl Azrael Clary lied to him, he smacked her. She said, I gotta go back home. I'm 17, I gotta go back to school. So when he discovered that she lied, he slapped the shit out of her. So if he like minors, he would have been okay with it. You know what I'm saying? He sent her back home. The parents, they said, I don't know how that went. She said she was 3 months from being 18. That was the parents were saying on the Gayle King. They I believe they emancipated her, or she turned 8. She went home and turned 18 and came back. Now that's what only thing I disagree with. R. Kelly should have, when she found out she lied to him, he should have cut all ties off with her. But at the end of the day, I'm thinking he probably thinking like I already made a mistake of laying with her, and she's in Chicago, so she's legal. That's 17, that's legal. So then he probably like, I need to, get you back home. Then you can come back when you get of age. But still, though, even if that she was of age, that the parents should be charged with her, because they was facilitating all that. R. Kelly wasn't even aware that she was 17. Like, how can you fault him for that when she lied about her age and then he sent her back home and the parents sent her back? That's crazy. And then they had another woman that was in the case by the name of Jeronna. She said that Jeronna Pace, she said that she lied to him about her age, and she had a full-fledged relationship with the guy named one of R. Kelly's tattoo man, his friend named Bubba. I think that's what it's been so long. Since this R. Kelly case that went up, they didn't allow him to come in and testify. The judge didn't allow him in. That goes back to the fact that R. Kelly also didn't have the right defense team neither, I think, because don't get me wrong, on the guy Devereaux Cannon poked a lot of holes and caught a lot of these women a lot of lies, but he didn't touch on the Rico to me. He just like Diddy lawyer, like, hey, my client is guilty of domestic violence. Hey, we're not disputing that, but there's no Rico. He didn't do that. He came in and basically caught all these women in lies. I think that's why he did that way, because he didn't have no defense to the defender Rico. The judge wouldn't allow that. And if you go back and look at all those transcripts and all that, the stuff that the women were saying in the interviews and all that, it don't match up. One girl, when they were asking Jane on number 5, Azrael Clary, well, did you say that? She gonna say, I didn't say that. The government told me to say that. If you're coming up and testifying, you should tell your truth, and that should be your truth. The government should have to tell you nothing. See, a lot of people don't, like Choke said, the reason they did him like that because the media and everybody just turned against him and allowed. So once he got up in that system, he was gonna get, railroaded because nobody cared. They look at he like these 14, 15-year-old girls. Nobody in that case was 14 or 15-year-old. Nope. And then you go back to the Chicago case, he was that's basically double jeopardy. Kim Fox issued a state case against him. Soon as he got convicted in New York and Chicago, she dropped the charges. Now, and she the one that started all this. So what sense does that make if you gonna charge her for the state crime, and then these alleged accusers in this case, you ain't getting justice for them, but I'm gonna drop it because he got convicted on federal. That didn't make sense. So if you really, like you said, to me that proves she didn't have no case, and the federal government saved her. they upped the charges on him because if he would have did that, he would have got off on that case with Kim Fox because that would have been double jeopardy because he's getting charged with the same thing. So they had to give him the charge with obstruction in Chicago, which he was acquitted of obstruction in Chicago. But how that makes sense when you're going to acquit this man of obstruction, but you're still going to say he produced child pornography and his whole purpose was to obstruct the charge and pay the women off when he got acquitted for that take back in 2008. So why would he have to obstruct anybody to do anything when they proved that? If you go look at the interview, I'm pretty sure Dana or the other guys that's on R. Kelly supporter got this interview with his old lawyer. Sam said that tape everybody keep talking about. He said the pixels was off. He said that was not R. Kelly on that tape. He said that it was R. Kelly had a specific mole on his back that the other man didn't have. And then the younger woman now, she alleging in this new motion that Bo Brennan got out there, she wasn't on the tape and that the government was forcing her to testify. She said if she didn't testify, they was gonna lock her parents up for a crook. So they backed up in the corner and she testified against R. Kelly that she was on the tape. So if
it's in the motion, it's in the motion for new trial. It's in the motion.
Right. Yeah, okay. You familiar with that? Yeah, but I'm saying, man, like R. Kelly really got railroaded, man, because the Chicago case was the same, federal case was the same case in 2008, but they got around double jeopardy because they had the obstruction charge on, and they upped the case to a federal case. But
You went out, Lil Matt. You went out, Lil Matt. While we wait for Lil Mac to get his audio right, listen, everybody. Let's stick to the facts, right? Now, we know that, and it still goes on today. I was born in 72, right? And like I said, what I'm about to say, it still goes on today. But plenty of underage girls, 12 years old, 13 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old, 16 and 17. Plenty of them were giving to older men by their family. I mean, come on, everybody, Talonda and everybody else. Let's not act brand new to younger girls being given to older men by their parents.
And what can you hear me, Shane?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
And what this lady saying up in here about some R. Kelly worshipers, trust me, if I seen this man, if I feel like this man messing with an underage girl, I'm not defending shit about that. Cause I got family members and I got females in my life. It's about the facts. Can you prove? It's not going off. See, a lot of these women up here are emotional. And they're not doing the fact checking, and they mad and they hurt because they feel like they are young women, which I get that. Don't get me wrong. If I knew if it was something that he did wrong, I wouldn't be defending that shit. But that ain't the case. You got parents lying, you got women lying about their age, and if they line up, if you got predatory behavior about yourself, you ain't just gonna cut that off. So you mean to tell me he like a certain amount of age and he just like 15, 16-year-old, and then boom, all of a sudden now he gonna start just dating grown women? No, that don't stop. Once you got that urge, you gonna always have the urge. And like J-Rock came on here on your live previously before, said doctors examined this man, they said he's not a pedo. So a lot of these women on here that are attacking this man, they don't know what the hell they talking about. They just going off their emotions and what they see in the media. And I seen somebody in the comments talking about his brother's line. Yes, his brother, Kerry Kelly, was jealous of this man. He literally had a hatred for this man. He just came out recently on Tasha K and admitted he lied on him. He was hurt by his brother because he felt that his brother didn't get him in the music industry. And see, a lot of people don't think of people don't know what these people don't know what they're talking about. For one, Aaliyah did 3. They all keep talking about he married Aaliyah. Aaliyah did 3 interviews before she passed and said, I got nothing but love for R. Kelly. I did not marry R. Kelly. He doing his thing. I'm doing my thing. That marriage was a fake. She even told Jim Derogatis back in 1994, the guy that he keeps attacking her, he won't go after Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and all the other white animosity towards R. Kelly for I don't know what. That he made his whole purpose and his whole career to bring R. Kelly down. And she did an interview and said, don't believe that, that's just the media, that's hype. You mean to tell me if he married Aaliyah, why the hell would Barry, if that's the case, if he married Aaliyah, why the hell Barry Hanks and her uncle continue to work R. Kelly from that time he got married all the way up to R. Kelly fired him. R. Kelly fired that man because he found out he was stealing from him. That all that marriage certificate and all that tape shit, R. Kelly in that trouble. The reason he got in that trouble was because of Barry Hankerson. Barry Hankerson had people out here going this man's house, stealing tapes, duplicating tapes, and shit. And if these people out here that say they don't like R. Kelly, they feel like he's guilty. Do your facts and research the shit, because it was a Barry Hankerson. Demetrius Smith said it out his own mouth that a guy named General was paid to steal tapes and duplicate tapes for R. Kelly. General was a guy that worked on music with R. Kelly. And then not only that, the Zoe Pound dude, he just did an interview. If you go look that up with Ali. He said that Barry Hankerson was paying him to go get a tape. So you mean to tell me R. Kelly fired Barry Hankerson 6 or 7 months before the Best of Both Worlds to come out. Then soon after the Best of Both Worlds to come out, here come this tape. And then like that put a hint in him and Jay-Z during that time. If you notice that, if he had a tape back in 1998 and these people had the tape, why they didn't bring it out then? Like this shit ain't adding up and it ain't making sense.
That's facts. And let me say this. Like when I was young, when I was like 14 and 15, you know, and some of them females that was 14, 15 and 16 and stuff like that, some of them were so developed, whereas though I wouldn't dare try to holler at them because they body. I mean, these were 15, 16 and 17-year-old girls that had women bodies. I mean, the breasts was bam, the butt, the hips was like damn. And I was young. Like I said, I'm 14, 15, 16. And these women, not women, these teenage girls was intimidated. I was intimidated by them. So I know that it wouldn't have been nothing for them to, especially if they're at a club, and y'all got to remember back in the days, it was fake IDs. So let's say
on the deck,
go ahead, little Matt. Can't hear you. Can't hear you, little Mac. While we wait for little Mac to come in. Now let's fast forward to when I got older and up in age. I'm in the club. I'm puffing. I'm drinking. And, you know, a female twerking. They ain't call it twerking back then. But a female, you know, got her ass all up on me. You know, getting my little man hard. You know, only thing on my mind is, you know what? Now, I ain't checking to see how old she is. I'm going by her body. And even if I do ask her how old she is, she gonna lie. You can't get mad at R. Kelly if them females lie about their age. You can't. You can't. And we have to understand that we have a problem, and we've always had this problem of females acting older than what they were. We gotta understand females mature faster than boys. And we gotta understand, if the family gives these girls to any man, it's justified. Once again, we cannot focus in on how we feel. We cannot focus, what y'all always say, go by the law. Now, if the law, this is the law of the United States of America. If a family, mother, father, grandparents, whomever, that little girl is in custody, if that legal guardian gives that underage girl up to a man for marriage, what can we do?
Right. And then another thing too, Shank, everybody want to condemn Baby Oil Man and R. Kelly for instance, Baby Oil Man. Everybody want to condemn him about these freakouts and all that. But that's been going on since the beginning of time. Hugh Hefner been having freakouts, ain't that? But everybody want to go to the Playboy Mansion.
Yeah.
They talking about he Diddy was flying escorts or prostitutes, whatever you want to call it, in and out. But that's what they call it. Get flowed out right now. The city girls and all them women, they promote sexy red. That's what they promote. So how can you fault Diddy for that?
That's fact.
And then okay, then let's go to the R. Kelly situation. Everybody want to get mad at R. Kelly because he dating Joycelyn Savage and Azrael Clare, who's 18, 20, and he twice their age. But why ain't nobody said shit about Angela Bassett in the movie Stella Got Her Groove Back? She promoted dating a 20-year-old man. Big Boy in an ATL movie, he pulled up to the high school in a truck and picked up a high school girl, dropped them out. I'm pretty sure that girl got that car when his daughter.
Remember?
Then if you want to go, then you want to go back to Belly with DMX and Nas. DMX was in the car getting topped off by a 16-year-old girl.
Remember?
And then that's a crime, and they promoted it in that movie. like what the hell? And then we ain't gonna act like it. And then we ain't gonna act like we just gonna all of a sudden like back in the day, and it's kind of still going on now. But people 16, 17 women weren't trying to get with a 30-year-old. Somebody judge somebody or something. A lot of these people be talking about some R. Kelly wrongs for whoop the whoop dating these women. These same women will drop their pants for him, and these same women trying to, you know what I'm saying, bash him was probably dealing with an older man back in the day.
They were
critical. Get out there. And then if a lot of people don't even know the facts of the case, they just going off Aaliyah, that tape. No, the man got railroaded in both trials if you follow both cases. I'm not, like I said, I'm not here to defend him. If he gets some shit with a 14-year-old, that means he right where he need to be at. And then, but if he didn't do it, he need to be at home. I'm not going off a documentary. I'm going off the facts. I see how these women are alive and the stories that these parents and all this, it ain't adding up. 2 + 2 with them ain't getting me 4.
That's facts. But like you said, these females that got a problem with R. Kelly, most of them females, when they was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, they was sleeping with older men. Like you said in that movie Belly, DMX was getting topped off by the little girl. She was 16. See,
exactly. They're promoting it. And they were promoting it. Like, what the hell? Then DMX gonna be, no, God rest the dead, not bad for him. He was in that movie, allowing that to happen, but then you gonna talk shit about R. Kelly come out. He got mad at R. Kelly because R. Kelly kept him in the studio. He was waiting on him. He never come out. He was in the studio with a minor. But you ended up promoting a movie about getting topped out by a minor.
Yep.
I mean, what sense that made?
I mean, ladies, yeah, late females, like I said, when I was 14, 15, 16, as far as pleasing a female, hell to the no. I was a 2-minute brother. All I wanted to do was bang the bang, 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 bust off, I'm gone. The majority of us was like that. So naturally, a teenager female wants to get with a guy that's 21, 22, 23 years old that knows how to please her. Now, is it right? We could debate it all day long, whether it's right. I believe that that's why if family gives their consent, then it's okay. Now, let me put myself in the situation. If one of my daughters were 14, 15, 16 years old, would I give a grown man consent to be with my daughter? It depends.
First of all, Shank, if kids were involved, it's not so much accountability you can put on R. Kelly if he said, quote unquote, he did that. What type of goddamn parent will allow their underage child to go be with a grown man? It's like they should be the ones that charge over him to me. Y'all, if they say everything about Aaliyah is true, everything about the girl on the tape true, so y'all gonna bypass the parents and then lock him up. Hell, if I was down prosecute, I'll be locking the goddamn parents up first, then go get R. Kelly. Because y'all took them to him. If they're like, everybody in the media keeps saying, oh, the parents need to be locked up and he wrong for that. Well, go get the goddamn parents then. Why ain't nobody got the goddamn parents? Because they was of age. That cleared up right there.
And y'all know who flirt with me the most on social media? Younger females in their early 20s and 30s be flirting with me like hell. I'm older. Like I said, females, they see how you carry yourself. They're going to be attracted. They are attracted to older guys. I mean, come on. I see you, EJ, Carla, Cookie. I see everybody. R. Kelly was railroaded. No way around it. What's the difference between R. Kelly and P. Diddy? Let me get back to a little bit more of Choke. Let's tap into Choke.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this could be a win for R. Kelly, because it's like, yo, how I get found guilty on the Rico and I'm sitting there by myself and Diddy get off? Yeah. So now when he come back with his appeal, he can use Diddy case as a reference or a case law to, you know, win his case. So, I mean, it was a big win for black men because, you know, they got to, because if Diddy would have been found guilty, just like R. Kelly, then they would have been going after somebody else next. Now they got to be kind of cautious with that because the world seen it and the world was like, yo, this ain't how you got the one Rico.
Taxpayers' dollars on.
And that's why I'm so glad. And that's why they say it was a win for the culture. Now, let's pray that R. Kelly gets another shot. Let's pray that that's what opens the door up for R. Kelly, and rightfully it should. I'm just being honest with y'all. Please investigate the R. Kelly case. Please, if you would like to, I can send you the motion of new trial. I can send you the motion of disqualification. Because I ain't going to tell y'all to backtrack my demonstrations. Y'all don't listen to the old man anyway. So I don't expect y'all to listen to what Shankrock tells y'all. But tap into that motion of new trial. Everything is laid out. Another thing that anybody can see with common sense, R. Kelly was rushed to Duke University Hospital, right? He's suffering from blood clots to the lung, well, in the lungs as well as the legs. Duke University Hospital told the authorities he needs to be in surgery ASAP. What did they do? Rush R. Kelly back to the joint, put him in solitary confinement. And y'all still don't believe? Come on in, Lil Matt. Y'all still don't believe that the man was railroaded? Come on, Lil Matt.
Yeah, see, they doing that because the BOP now and the government know they shit in and stepped in it. Because for one, how the hell you gonna sit there and allow this woman go through all his personal phone calls with his, not only with his girlfriend, a girlfriend who was a key witness in the case? If she didn't see what she seen, she wasn't going to say what she said on the stand. Like, that did play a major role in his case. Not only that, it was let us with his attorneys. And then the government prosecutor on the case was trying to get people's sentence reduced by letting these people go steal his emails. That ain't a coincidence. If this man is so guilty, if he's the biggest predator of them all, why y'all got to do all these, games and all these tactics to bring him down? Because y'all didn't have a case, and y'all know that this man ain't guilty of what they're charging him for. I'm not saying the dude's squeaky clean, but I don't believe that he engaging with minors and he over here bruising the women and being women.
No. R. Kelly is the king of R&B. R. Kelly is a king. Let's keep it 100. When you reach king status, then rightfully you are able to have multiple women. Let's put it in its proper perspective. Whether you're on the left side of the tracks, whether you're on the right side of the tracks, why was King Solomon allowed to have all of those concubines? God never got mad at King Solomon for having all of those concubines. A king. Not only can a king have multiple women, any man that is able to take care of all of these women is permissible. If you say to Shank Rock right now, and Shank, would you like to have 7 women? And if all 7 women was on the same accord, all 7 women was like, Shank, I don't mind being a sister wife. What y'all think Shank Rock's funky ass gonna say?
He gonna have this any man, they gonna have their cake and eat it too.
Come on, Lord Matt.
And then my thing about that Shank is shit. That's in all these cultures. You got 5 or 6, 7, 8. These Muslim men got 5, 6, 7, 8 wives.
Yeah.
And you have, but then my thing is black people, we sit here and bash R. Kelly for having no girlfriend. But why Hugh Hefner didn't get a Rico? Diddy got a Rico. R. Kelly got a Rico. Why the hell Hugh Hefner didn't get a Rico? He's, glorifying having 20, being a pimp. Basically, and then people don't even know this man had a 13, 14-year-old Brooke Shields back in the day on the cover of Playboy. But everybody got so much smoke and animosity for R. Kelly and Diddy. But this goes to show what Dr. Umar did an interview a while ago. He said that's R. Kelly and Pdiddy are distractions for the real predators and the real pedophiles getting off with this stuff. Like the Roman Catholic Church, the Harvey Weinsteins, and all those guys. Those the people that work at Disney, those are the real predators. Oh, look at those Disney characters. And once they get out of Disney, you can tell that they ain't right something off about them. And if you go back and look at the Azrael Clary girl, in the first interview she did with Gail, in the second interview with Gail, the first interview she did with R. Kelly, she looked at gorgeous. She was like, that was a beautiful young lady. And then you go back and look at the interview after she turn on R. Kelly. She's like a damn mess. Like she's on drugs. She built all night. She strung out on something.
Yeah.
So to me, R. Kelly was taking what it was with them girls, Azrael Claire girl and the Tim Savage daughter Jocelyn said. R. Kelly was taking care of them girls, buying them this, buying them that, giving them a lifestyle, and their parents weren't in on it. And R. Kelly like, I'm not finna give you no goddamn money to date your daughters. And they got mad and went to the media. And Tim Savage had a former co-worker. When this Surviving R. Kelly first kicked off, I seen the damn interview. It's on YouTube. The man said, Tim Savage said, R. Kelly don't give me no money for dating my daughter. I'm going to the media and tell them that they got her brainwashed and hell hostage, and that's what he did. He got help from that big head dude, Jerry Reed from the NAACP, and Jamal Bryant, all them, they if you listen to what J Rock said, and Jerry Reed and Tim Savage was in Jamal Bryant church, and they said that, well, these women that R. Kelly had was of age, so we can't really do nothing about it. We had to do another method. And that's what they did. They made up that, he got him brainwashed, he got him held hostage. And none of that shit, and then if you follow the trial, none of that shit came out of court that he had anybody held hostage and held against their will.
That's facts. That's facts, Matt.
So they lied on that man. It's clear as day.
See, we know what it is. We know what it is. And this is what I have to say to all of those women that's on the right side of the track. If y'all don't start holding these women on the left side of the track accountable, then you all as women are going to continue to get a bad name. It is what it is. Y'all got to hold these women on the left side of the track. Y'all got to hold them accountable. It is what it is.
They got to, because if they don't, it ain't gonna be no more men running around. Ain't gonna be those rainbow people and women. And real man gonna be locked up or either deceased. And for black people who want to jump on board this Me Too movement, believe all women bull crap, that's the same thing as how it was back in the day when during the Jim Crow era, when a black man allegedly was messing with a white woman, the man wasn't messing with the white woman, she lied on him, they believed and they harmed him and killed him. So why would y'all even consider supporting that movement? As a culture, black people shouldn't even be supporting that shit. See, this is the way for women to get an easy bag. All you gotta do is take a picture with take a picture with a R. Kelly, take a picture with a Lil Mac or a Shanquella. We got some money or something. And then all of a sudden we say, hey, we don't want to deal with this woman no more. They can say, he did this, to me. He did this, to me. R. Kelly was saying that in the Gayle King interview. He said, just because I was in a relationship with somebody that didn't work out, that don't mean they give you the right to go sue me and pursue charges of every one of those goddamn women that R. Kelly was with after the relationship, even his wife. They wrote a book. They got on the reality TV show. They got paid off their relationship with him. If you so much a victim like Cassidy, I was telling my girlfriend that the other day, how the hell she's a victim when she got $30 million? She's so goddamn scared to go to the police, but she wasn't scared to turn you up and go get some damn money.
Amen.
So what's she scared at? Make this shit make sense. It's common. All this shit is common sense.
And if anything, that would have made P. Diddy come after her. You just got 30 million up out of me. See,
and then they make it bad for real people out here. Now, it's so many people like in Chicago and these areas that get women get abducted, get raped, and get it in the sex traffic cult. Why ain't nobody pursuing that? Why the hell Homeland Security investigating R. Kelly? Homeland Security should be investigating terrorism and shit like the real sex trafficking people, like that movie with the guy I forgot the white guy on there when his daughter get kidnapped. That's sex trafficking right there. The shit P. Diddy and R. Kelly doing ain't no goddamn sex trafficking. The shit they got Jack Johnson on back in the day wasn't no damn sex trafficking. When all women can't force into prostitution and all that shit, that's sex trafficking. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts. All these cases of these missing women. I mean, thousands of cases, probably millions of cases of these women that's being abducted. That's that's really in sex trafficking. And this the best that y'all could do? Shanquella Robinson. Y'all won't prosecute Cabo 6.
Exactly. And then like this Charlamagne the God dude, he get on Breakfast Club, him and DJ Envy every day, talk shit about R. Kelly and talk shit about P. Diddy. But Charlamagne the God was known for allegedly raping I'm saying allegedly, I don't know how true it is, a lady, a girl named by Jessica Reed down in North Carolina. But then they got their pick, and the Me Too women got their pick and choose to go after. Why ain't nobody going after him? It's the reason they're going after these men. J Rock said it on him about R. Kelly. R. Kelly catalog worth billions of dollars. He got these anniversaries coming about these albums, and they making millions of dollars. R. Kelly music alone still screaming. I think it, like last couple months ago, over $1 billion screaming. I know damn well that case. It ain't about these goddamn women. These people don't give a goddamn about Cassidy, Azrael Clary, or Jonathan Savage, and none of these people, Aaliyah, God rest her soul, either. They just want to bring down these men. They don't care about no black women, and black people fall for the okie doke every fucking time. Oh, he did it. He had to do it. He had to do it. If R. Kelly did it, why the goddamn parents ain't charged? If P. Diddy is a Rico, why the hell the bodyguards and all and that Punisher dude, why they all that testified, why they ain't being charged? Make that make sense. No, they want these black men to be the face of this predator shit. They let the real predators get away with it, and they know that they don't want black people being successful and with a lot of money to stand tall. P. Diddy worth $1 billion, and only reason they probably ain't going after people like Jay-Z playing ball with him. Soon as Jay-Z get online, they gonna come for his ass too. Soon as anybody, name me one black successful R&B singer, actor, or somebody that just you can say Denzel, because Denzel Washington, like, he don't play by the rules. He married, go home, boom. That's how this. Name me one somebody that, like Michael Jackson, other people that can get away, that can be successful in the music industry and get away. Even they brought Michael Jackson down. They beat that man in talking about he messing with boys, and it came out that they lied on him. All the black people, what they tormented, they made jokes about Michael Jackson and all that shit, and then it caused all that frustration on him. The reason Michael Jackson like hang around kids, Joe Jackson and him took their childhood away from them. He said it in an interview. He said that he can never be a kid because he was always working, always in the studio, always singing, always on the road. And he liked them, you know what I'm saying, brain like the kid. That man wasn't no goddamn child molester.
That's facts. Let Lexington slide in, Lil Mac. Slide in, Lexington.
Lil Mac, how you doing? Mr. Shank, how you doing, my brother?
What's doing up, good. Glad to have you up here.
You got it, man. I just wanted to tap in a little bit, man, to give you my input on what's going on. One of the things I would like to bring up, man, is a lot of the women that are against the decision of Mr. Kelly being locked up and the decision of Sean Combs being locked up or free or having charges dropped or whatnot. You got to look at the big picture. And the big picture is you're going to have a son one day. Or if you already have a son, you got to think about that son. You got to think about that nephew. You got to think about your son's son. You got to think about all that. And when you draw it up, they may be in that same position without having the same amount of money, the same attorneys at bay. They might not have that. So you got to look at that. So quit getting so pissed off about the situation, because it may be you out there protesting and trying to battle and try to get people to come in and help you, because you see what's going on now. A person with money is having a hard time with the government. So don't throw all the stones and think you can't get hit by one too. And another thing I want to bring up is they talk about trafficking, the Mann Act, and all this. So if it's all about people going to jail behind having sex and things like that, and you transporting people, I thought about this last night. I said, well, don't Pornhub do stuff like that? Don't they traffic people to different locations and they have sex and they get paid a fee and all that stuff? So what's all the ruckus about having sex? Cause that's what we here to do.
That's deep.
We're here to have sex.
And the same thing it's the same thing that Legend P. Diddy was doing. You can see that shit on Pornhub.
That's deep.
Yeah. So you doing everybody having sex since Adam and Eve. We're here to be reproductive. So what's the big deal? You got people who all up and they got their pennies in it, not because they want to profit off of different things, and if they can't get no money out of it, well, we finna come up with something to make it to where we can't get no money out of this person. We're gonna have them locked up, and then we're gonna get money on the back end. And then if you fight it, they gonna still keep getting money, So I know the government, they look at a lot of these lives and things, and they probably sit at home making a next plan or whatever, but they gotta always remember, how do we know that y'all ain't got the same thing going on in y'all bedroom? How do we know that the judges, the lawyers and everything, they're not doing the same thing that y'all saying that everybody else is doing? Because this Rico stuff they got out of hand. I ain't seen nobody get their head put on flat. I ain't seen that. All I know is all being swung around and orgasms and people going home happy. They got a little money in their pocket. I mean, even with the date line, you go online, you meet you a chick, y'all meet up somewhere. I mean, if it's a go, it's a go. If it ain't, okay, y'all done spent your money, you got your nice little old food at the restaurant, and then y'all go about y'all way. But it ain't all about put it like this. We having this illegal problem right now. So what would happen if an illegal fly somebody out to where they are at a different state? Will they get the same treatment? Will they end up going to jail and get charged with Rico, even though you're not a citizen? I ain't seen them go proactive on something like that. So we already having that problem. So you gotta make it make sense. You can't just charge everybody of color, or I'm gonna say everybody that's black and wealthy of this crime when it was meant for a black man transporting a white woman across state lines to have sex and whatnot. So how did it come to, okay, my girlfriend, we finna go to Hawaii. She get pissed off. She throw a fit, call the attorney. Okay, now I got the Mann Act. I need to abolish that immediately. And quit using racketeering. Oh, yes, another thing I want to say. I feel like these lawyers, when they pass that bar, I feel like the judges are throwing them an alley-oop because if they can't prove their case, we've seen it happen too many times within the last 5-10 years, starting with, I want to say, Bill Cosby, or maybe even before that. If the lawyers can't get what they want, they get an alley-oop from the judge by allowing them to use the Mann Act, allowing them to use racketeering and all that. If you can't prove your case about and with the evidence you have, then why even go to school? Why even get a certificate that you passed the bar exam? You're not doing your due diligence to try to make it make sense because you're using the media, which Obama is at fault for that, letting the proper candidate help you with your case. Don't be like Perry Mason, dig up the dirt that you got to dig up, bring it, present to the courts, and win your case that way. Quit using propaganda, quit using the Mann Act, quit using racketeering, quit using all these different things that's going to help you to pass your case because you can't win conventionally. That's the way I look at the whole thing. Win conventionally, and then we won't have this problem. Now you got this other law they got called the Allen Law about if you can't come up with a they call it, what is it? They deliberating. If you can't come up with a decision, they got an Allen Law named after this black guy, if I'm not mistaken. I got to look it up again to make sure, but I think it's named after a black man. If y'all deliberating, y'all can't come up with a decision, y'all got to keep on deliberating. They're not going to just let y'all go ahead and have a mistrial of somewhat. That's something I got to look at, but I think I heard that like 2 days ago, called the Allen Law. So they got all these different things in the courthouse, and people need to be thinking about now that people want to go to the courthouse and start investigating instead of just looking at what's on the news and going by what they say. It's good that people really are coming out now. I wish they would have done that in the Mr. Kelly's case. A lot of people kind of showed up, but we didn't have enough people out there to see what was going on. Versus now, people going out there to really see. You got one side saying one thing on the media, but then you also got some of these podcasters. They for the jury, well, not the jury, they for the prosecutors. Like, they getting paid by the prosecutors to lie too.
Yep.
I don't put it past them.
That's
I don't put it past them. I do not put it past them. So that's one of the things I want to say, man. Just like I say, everybody think about your kids and your kids coming up, because the system is already jacked up and it's probably gonna get jacked up worse. But hopefully, with this decision about the Mann Act, if we have passed a bill to get this thing knocked out and get it abolished, then we want to worry about this. They got to come up with something else. They gonna have to go in there and do their due diligence instead of just relying on the Mann Act and racketeering every time they want to get somebody and lock them down for their life. That ain't how it's supposed to go. The Mann Act is strictly for what it's supposed to be for. And I didn't see any white women enough being trafficked across state line. If that's what it's intended for, then why is it being put in perspective with all these other cases? Same thing with the racketeering. I ain't seen none of that stuff going on. So I'm gonna go on a year back, man. I'm gonna let y'all handle it. I'm gonna sit back in the chat and catch your ear on to what y'all got going on.
All right,
and thanks for having me again, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, Lil Mac. I'm gonna go back to Choke No Joke. Then I'm gonna give you your last words, Lil Mac, and then we're gonna get out of here.
No, when you saw the outcome as came out as you predicted, what do you think this means for Diddy? And then also when they denied the bond, how did you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I predicted what was going to happen, but like I said, Diddy had the same case as R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Only difference between R. Kelly and Diddy is Diddy had the world watching. Diddy had the support from the media.
Yeah.
R. Kelly, nobody cared because they thought it was about pedophilia, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was the same thing, sex trafficking your girlfriends.
Yeah.
How do you sex traffic your girlfriend? How do you sex traffic your wife? You know what I'm saying? And consensual relationships. And as you can see, these women were not coerced according to the jury, right?
Yeah.
So y'all can say however y'all want to feel. Just like y'all feel like OJ still did it. He was found not guilty. Diddy did not coerce these women. So y'all need to get out y'all feelings because the jury said it. The prosecution, they gave all the evidence. You know what I'm saying? The judge, I feel, was very fair in this case. So for all y'all that can't let it go, not guilty. You know what I'm saying? Now with R. Kelly, if he had all the media and all that attention, and he still had some bread to hide the defense that Diddy had, he would have beat it too. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that nobody paid attention to the R. Kelly case, they was able to railroad him. They didn't allow him to subpoena the parents. They did him real dirty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this could be a win for R. Kelly, because it's like, yo, how I get found guilty on the Rico and I'm sitting there by myself and Diddy get off?
Yeah.
So now when he come back with his appeal, he can use Diddy case as a reference or case law to, you know, win his case. So, I mean, it was a big win for black men because, you know, they got to, because if Diddy would have been found guilty, just like R. Kelly, then they would have been going after somebody else next. Now they got to be kind of cautious with that because the world's seen it and the world was like, yo, this ain't how y'all got the one Rico.
Taxpayers' dollars on this.
Big time.
Yeah.
But when you see Sammy the Bull Gravano and all these mobsters coming out that was been charged with Rico, they like, how they got one guy there? Yeah. It was a whole gang of us. Yeah. You can't have a Rico with one person. It has to be two or more people.
That's right.
And so that's where they tried to R. Kelly him, and they didn't, and it worked great for Diddy, and I'm happy for Diddy.
Any last words before we get out of here, Lil Mac?
Oh yeah, man. I just want to say, man, what Choke was just saying, you're right, and he made exactly perfect sense of what he's saying. This Diddy case and his R. Kelly case, or really it wasn't nothing but girlfriends and sex basically. And everything he's saying, he made perfect sense of how he put it. And people, I just encourage people, man, stop going off what the media tell you. If it just fact check stuff before you take it and run, because if you don't, you'll be calling these people guilty and saying they did this and whoop the whoop, and you don't know what's going on in the case. Cassidy and these girls are these girls were not victims. These girls was in a relationship with these men, and they liked the lifestyle that they was living. And then all these people talking about R. Kelly, these girls were underage. They were not underage. They were of age. And then, like I said, if they was underage, the parents should have been charged with R. Kelly. And no parent was charged. Until then, I'm gonna say free R. Kelly and free Diddy, because I didn't see the crimes and the crimes that they committed. To me, they was just because you don't like the way who a person date or who a person how the person get down their bedroom, man, that's their business. But I don't see the crimes and what they did. But I'm gonna get up off here and appreciate you for having me on. Free R. Kelly, free Diddy, man. I'm out.
I appreciate you, Lil Matt. Free P. Diddy, free R. Kelly. What's the difference between R. Kelly and P. Diddy's case? Make sure everybody on the replay gang, make sure y'all drop a comment. And everybody down there in the chat, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Y'all could go to the comment section as well and drop a comment. I'm curious to find out everybody's opinion. Shout out to my guest panelists, Lil Matt and Lexington. Shout out to Beehive TV and Choke No Joke. I think Choke No Joke, I think he said it best. You know what I mean? But I'll let the chat continue running and you all can hang around. Salute everybody.
What do you think about them denying the bond as of right now?
I think that that's BS. He should have got a bond from Jump Street. They gave the white guys bond with the similar charges, right? In the Abercrombie Fitch case, right? They gave them two white ladies bond, you know, that in the same type of case. So I thought that was nonsense. And then for him to beat the Rico, which was the biggest charge, you know, and them not to give him a bond to come back for his sentencing, you know, that goes back to being black. You know what I mean? But for the most part, it's okay. You know why?
Why?
Because it helps him in his sentencing, because whatever more time that he do, whatever they give him, he'll have that time served.
Exactly.
As opposed to coming out and have to go back in and do those extra months and add it on to whatever sentence he get for the two charges that they found him guilty on.
Do you think they're going to give him some more time at sentencing, or do you think he'll get time served?
What can disqualify you from getting a life insurance policy? With us, nothing. If you're age 45 to...
Yeah, no, I mean, whatever his sentencing is, you gotta look at it this way, right? Diddy has no priors. This is a first-time conviction for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which would make him a category 1 in the federal system, right? So him being a category 1, you know, they can't hit him with the max. You know what I'm saying? Just because he's a category 1, which means that he may get the max is 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's 0 to 10. Him being a category 1 and they found him guilty on 2 of the charges, I'm going to predict maybe 24 months, 36 months, the most.
The piranhas eat the meat. One, three, two.
Big Lou, Shane Rock, hey niggas, where the work at? I got some bad bitches bout they bread, they be twerking. Get a boosty boo in the boot, brain that working. Got the money, lotion up my palms like it's some jerky. Yeah, I hit that two-step time too, I'm about money. Say that pussy good and sweet, bet it tastes like honey. I be chasing for them dollars, I be looking for them stacks. Bet lil' mama gon' holler when I hit it from the back. Yeah, doggy style of ass, got her screaming out, man. They already know it's mob, ain't no need to explain. Got it tatted on my nigga, can't go against the grain. Fuck what they talking, it's $1 million thing.
Got $1 million thing, I don't give a fuck. Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up.
She stay up in the bed, now watch her toot it up.
Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up. I'm tryna $1 million thing, I don't give a fuck. Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up.
She stay up in the bed, now watch her toot it up.
Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up.
See my fuck game is straight, yeah, I lay down long. It's a scratching, banging on my chest like I'm King Kong. A very freaky girl, not the type you take the mama. Had a crushing pill, smoking weed like it come by. Not the cutest nigga, but my pimp game strong. Ooh, nigga, no Viagra, but my dick stay hard. Love a down chick, cause she help me put in work. Catch your ass slipping while you flirting with her skirt. See, I live life the G-way, get in on the freeway. She look good, but pimpin' ain't if she ain't nasty, since she can't please me. I like the seductive type, touch me, tease
Got $1
me.
million thing, I don't give a fuck. Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up.
She stay up in the bed, now watch her toot it up.
Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up. I'm tryna $1 million thing, I don't give a fuck. Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up.
She stay up in the bed, now watch her toot it up.
Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up.
It's $1 million affair, the jewels be gleaming. When I walk in, them pretty hoes be scheming, trying to figure a way that they could give me a threesome. By the end of the night, them sucker niggas be beaming. But I'm on my shit, the 4/5 on hit, just in case them niggas right there wanna trip. I knocked a sip for his chick a few years ago. Put her up on some game, showed her how to get dough. I got $1 million THANG in the club with a BADDIE. She said she loves me in that movie, OG like me. And all them hoes from her hood wanna see about me.
Got $1 million thing, I don't give a fuck. Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up.
She stay up in the bed, now watch her toot it up.
Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up. I'm tryna $1 million thing, I don't give a fuck. Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up.
She stay up in the bed, now watch her toot it up.
Before I beat that pussy up, I'm tryna finger it up. I'm tryna